Yo, what's up, everyone? Just wanted to talk about Alabama and why they should not be in the playoff at all. Um, Alabama, I think, has been, fairly rated as just saying that they're a great team, okay? But to be in the top four of the college football playoff does not make any sense with how they're saying that they rank everybody, okay? Because if they are ranking everybody the way that they are, which, they're doing it by strength of schedule, who they've lost to, won to, and etc., then they would definitely probably be like a top 10 team, but there's no way that they should be in the top four. So I'm going to give some reasons why, because I actually have some stuff opened up on my browser that I was looking at out of curiosity, and then I was like, man, you know what? I definitely should just share my thoughts with whoever in the world would care to hear them or are curious about them, because okay, first of all, Ohio State should be in the top four with the same exact logic. If you look at the top 25 rankings, Alabama right now, like if you were to look at their schedule today, like at the end of the year, seeing how everybody ended up turning out, Alabama didn't play anybody that good. Alabama doesn't even have a single top 10 win. The only team in the top 10 that they even played, they lost to, which was Auburn. Okay, and before you say, yeah, they did, blah, 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 look, as of right now, here's the top 10. Clemson, and they did not beat them. Oklahoma, they did not beat them. Georgia, they didn't beat them. Then they're 4. Ohio State's 5, they didn't beat them. Wisconsin, they didn't beat them. Auburn, they lost to them. USC, they didn't beat them. Then Penn State and Miami, okay? Like, I know like they didn't even play really any of those guys, but that's the whole point. They didn't play any of the top 10 teams, okay? But Ohio State, we just saw that they beat Wisconsin, okay? That's not only a top 10 team, that's a top 6 team, all right? Whoever won that would have been the conference champion. Ohio State is a conference champion, something that Nick Saban had said before a couple years ago, which everybody knows he got called out on. He thought that if you don't win a conference championship, then you shouldn't be in, for the Final Four playoff spots to win the grand prize championship. So that doesn't make any sense. Ohio State is also beating Penn State, who's currently number 9. Okay, so you have 2 teams right there in the top 10 that they've beaten to Alabama's none. So why would they be ranked higher? Okay. And then it makes me wonder too, okay, so if Ohio State's rated higher than Wisconsin, then shouldn't they have applied the same logic to Alabama versus Auburn? Auburn and Alabama have a head-to-head game, okay? Yeah, I know Auburn has 3 losses because one of them was in the championship game that Alabama didn't even qualify for. But, with the same logic, Ohio State has 2 losses compared to Wisconsin's 1. All right? So if Ohio State's ahead of them based off the head-to-head matchup, and I understand it was a championship game too, but still, Auburn won the head-to-head against Alabama, so they should be higher than Alabama. That's just the logic that would make sense with what they're trying to say also. Also, if Alabama's in the top 4, then UCF should be in the top 4. If UCF's the only undefeated school, period, okay? That was the only reason why Wisconsin was even up there in the top 4 to begin with, okay? So that's the only reason why they were even in the top 4. They haven't even had that hard of a schedule either. UCF's played 2 top 25 teams, and that's the same as Alabama, and they're actually ranked pretty closely to each other, the teams that they've played. Alabama's beaten LSU, okay? And then I believe they also beat Boise State. So you got number 17, or no, it was Mississippi State, I'm sorry. So you got number 17 and 23 that they beat. UCF has beaten number 20 Memphis, and then they had also beaten USF, which I don't even see them up there right now, but either way, if they didn't make the top 25, it is what it is. UCF has still played very similar competition to Alabama, and the thing is, they're undefeated. I think that they're going to get smashed by Auburn, though. Like, don't get it wrong. Like, I think Auburn's going to beat them, which I think if Auburn played Alabama, they'd beat Alabama again, or they'd match up fairly well. Maybe Alabama will get the better the second time, similar to how Georgia got the better hand. I think it's going to end up Clemson versus Georgia in the final, championship game. But it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if Ohio State should be in, Alabama shouldn't be based off that logic. The strength of schedule wasn't that hard. If anything, Penn State's schedule was harder than Alabama's. Penn State did a really good job making the top 10. But yeah, Alabama really didn't face any formidable opponents. Realistically, if you want to bring in strength of schedule and who people have beaten, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Auburn in the top 4. I wouldn't mind seeing Auburn versus Georgia 3, and with everything on the line, final game of a lot of people's college careers there, it would probably put up everybody would probably put up a really great performance that'd be memorable. But yeah, it's like whatever they did to justify it, which they're saying is strength of schedule, plus on top of that they're trying to say that was basically because it doesn't make any sense. Auburn should be ahead of them, just like how Ohio State's ahead of Wisconsin. And also on top of that, too, if you look at strength of schedule, they did not beat any of the current top 10 teams, which Ohio State's beating 2 of them. All right, so I guess it is what it is. I don't know why they do what they do, but I guess they really wanted Bama in. Bama has a really big pool, really big crowd and fan support. I don't think that if Alabama has a season like this again, they'll be able to sneak in like that. So, like, next year, if they have something similar, lose one more game, I doubt they'll make the top 4. But shout out to the Big Ten, though, because they went ham this year. But anyways, if you liked anything I had to say, please please subscribe. Hey, Alabama does play good football, okay? I'm not trying to say, like, they suck or, like, they can't beat any of these top 10 teams. But the thing is, based off the logic they try to use to justify them being in the top 10, I just had to point out that, Ohio State should have been in then, or UCF should have been in then, or at least get Bama out and put somebody else in there that was a little more worthy off of strength of schedule and head-to-head matchups, all right? But, yep, can't wait to talk to y'all next time.